It's so cold.
Welcome back to another episode of Survivor Worldwide on Reality Pop. We've got, sadly, our first evicted castaway for Survivor South Africa Immunity Island, but he is in great spirits here today. Jason, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm very good. And how are you?
No, I'm good. That green buff suits you so well. I wish I could have seen you on TV with it so a little bit longer. You were part of my... It does suit you. Yeah, it looks really good.
I think it brings a part of it. It is me. I think I am Survivor. Like, come on. I am Zamba. Come on. I mean, I even brought a bonsai for you to see. I'm lined up, bro. Come, shoot.
Yeah. For all we know, you might still be out there on the island hiding in the next twist. You might be hiding under a spy shack or a...
This is a green screen.
Yeah, green screen, yeah. You're still playing the game right now.
Dazzle. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jason, in all seriousness, I had you, I don't know if you saw any of the preseason content, but I actually had you in my team when we did the draft. So I had you picked, I think you were my second guy pick. So really gutted to lose you because I had high hopes for you. But we know how Survivor goes. Sometimes the cookie crumbles your way and sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, it didn't.
It's so unpredictable. That's what's so amazing about the game. Like, there's no level of... Well, you can be prepared, but there's absolutely, you don't know where you, like, it's crazy. That's why it captivates me. It's, yeah.
100%. I mean, we start this game off and, the first thing that happens here is that we have a random, tribe draw, which in the previous seasons, you don't always get that, but I quite like it because it leaves it up to the Survivor gods. Yeah, and it's quite interesting with the way that the tribes split here, Paul has that great confessional in the first episode where he says he's on the cricket team and you're on the rugby team. How did you feel about your team when you got into the tribe?
Look, it was evident that the muscle was leaning the other way. But listen, as a student of this game, sometimes muscle can also hurt you. I know this. I follow I know, okay? So I was aware of the advantages and the disadvantages of being on Zamba. Trust me. But there were a lot of advantages of being on Zamba. Thank the Survivor gods I was on Zamba. Because, the personalities on Winner. Woo! I mean, Chappies and those guys, they are some hardcore players. I'm so excited to see actually how everything plans out. But, with me, sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm just so excited.
That's fine.
I'm just going. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
no, I'm loving it because
you might have to go back and I'm gonna re-ask the question. Like, dude, what did you say? I can't remember. I've gone down some rabbit hole. I don't know where I'm going.
That's 100% fine. I've got an idea of what it must have been like for the producers out there to cut and edit your confessionals when they were out there on the island.
I'll go all over the place. I would say how things are, but the thing is, it's an experience. To be in a situation like that as a fan, I mean, I've been trying so hard to get on there. Finally get on there. It's like a kid in a candy store. It's like It's intense. You're overwhelmed with so many exciting emotions. It's crazy. You should enter.
Yeah. Now, no, you get into the Zamba tribe here, and then early on, you guys have to do a bit of a reward. I guess it's like a mini reward challenge where you've got to go run out and get resources and food and things like that. Were you super aware of the idol being out there, and were you trying to gun for it? What was your plan in regards to that, and how did you feel about Dino being the person who actually ends up going for it?
Look, okay, so... Yeah, okay, that's a good question. Okay, let me unpack this. Okay, the whole situation with Dino getting the idol, I was aware that there was going to be some advantage, something. It's Survivor. Come on, let's be real. If you think you're going into that challenge and you're just getting sugar cane and maybe a few carrots, you're on your way out. Okay, you couldn't need. You was playing the game. You're not playing. If you're not playing from the start, I mean, you drop one ball like I did, I'm out. You see? So that's how fast-paced this game is. So I was aware of something being out there. I searched. I really did search. But there's like an element of luck. And unfortunately, where the idol was left, I turned right. The thing that I chose to pick up was right. It's just one of those things. Survivor gods You either get orange or you either get green. You either pick up a bag of, coconuts with an advantage under it, or you you see something like Dino. I'm getting back to Dino now because, there's a relationship there with Dino. Like being the fan. He is a super fan, and I was aware of Dino. And so, hence, there was a part of me that I didn't want to be known as the structural engineering draftsman, because I know as a fan that the shelter would be bestowed upon you. Like you're in charge of the shelter. Any architect, any technical background, that's your role. And well done to Renier for picking up that I accepted the role, but unwillingly. Maybe I displayed that was my part where I should have maybe, there's all those what ifs and what nots, and you dissect, and this is the brain, or like how a castaway thinks of, like, for example, the first boot. So now you go in there and you think, like, okay, like what could I have done wrong? And you take it and you make sense of the situation. Perhaps that was one of the things that was my downfall. But with Dino in specific, he's a fan, and I understood his journey. We shared the same journey getting onto the show. So when I saw a guy like Dino getting this idol, I was like, yo, what a better person to get. Like there's someone I could really get to. But then I started seeing like the paranoid. I mean, I think we all saw it in Dino, that paranoid, he gets skittish. And it was very unpredictable. I didn't know if I wanted to be aligned with that. And so when I got to the island, I knew he was like an escape room artist, puzzle. And I think he knew that I was a structural, the guy. So I didn't want to say, no, I was a pigeon breeder. That's why hence I had the boots with the pigeon rings on. And, I was a dude that had a nursery and bonsais and whatnot. So, I thought he was going to call bull on that. So hence why I owned it. I was like, listen, I'm the structural engineering draftsman. And I think that's where things got a little bit haywire. And where I also think where I could have, the thing is, from fans' point of view, you know the game. You studied the game. You're aware of all the outcomes. Okay? But in a situation like Survivor, when you're actually in the game, it's not a really good place to be in, because all those outcomes sort of like do like a little bit of voodoo on you, like wild coast voodoo on you. Okay? And then hence the way I acted the way I did. You guys saw a part of Jason that was defensive. I costed at a fire challenge. I looked like a seal out of water for the immunity challenge. I promise I can swim. It's just like you pause on the video, you see I'm missing one shoe. Try swim with one shoe and like one free leg, and we'll talk again. But anyway, so
yeah, I will ask questions about that. By the way, I definitely have a question about the challenge. So we'll get into all of this. So let me sort of unpack a few things here that you just sort of went into.
You just need to stop me when you need to stop me.
Because 100%.
People, these are the first times like I'm reliving the experiences by you like asking me, because like it happened. So now me like I'm going in depth now. I'm really getting descriptive with you. I'm like share a lot with you.
And I really appreciate it, and definitely I want to go back to the shelter and the fact that you ended up having to open up and you had to build the shelter. How much of a disadvantage do you feel it was for you sort of taking charge of building the shelter? And do you feel like you missed out on key conversations with people walking off and doing other things at that point while you were building the shelter, or did it not really have that much of an effect on your game?
Look. My personality on the island was so camouflage that people felt so safe to share information with me. And I think all the information kind of put me like that's also a kind of cool thing about watching yourself on TV, is like all that information is now bringing out a part of Jason that like I'm also now like I'm like, oh wow, that's how I think, that's how I thrive, that's how I compete, that's how I come out on top. So I'm now seeing it. So I was like, wow, okay, if I could have just dialed back a bit, okay, use the information to my advantage, speak less, listen more. Take a page out of King Rob there, his survival book there. Speak less, listen more. I'll take that humble piece pie, or piece of that humble pie. But yeah, I think if the instance with losing the challenge and the immunity challenge, I know as a fan now I'm on the. So hence I'm like, I'm coming, brother.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, obviously, you guys, there's always a bit of isolation prior to going into any kind of Survivor season, but you guys had a very unique situation where the pandemic was going on, there were lockdowns, you went straight into this one, you had to go into a prolonged isolation period, and then you went into the game. And I can tell you're an extroverted person. How much do you think it was you just wanting to get out there and do things and did it play into your mind?
Oh my gosh, can I tell you, that was so tough. That was like the worst period. And I think, because like I'm outside, I'm there, I'm everywhere. Like, I mean, I think I've like self-diagnosed myself with like ADD or something. I don't know. I'm just always doing something. And to be in a room, you know, is, you know, there's only like, I did some painting, some drawing. I had like fights with monkeys. It was cool. It was like I had to occupy myself. So, but there was a cool, you know, like time to unwind, unpack thinking, you know, decipher, start, you know, reflecting, like, you know, start unpacking. And it was actually a necessary period. So I kind of used the disadvantage to an advantage, and I think it contributed to a player that you see now. So
yeah. So I want to ask you about the fire challenge. Again, you put your hand up there. You're willing to go out there and do the fire challenge, and the team sends you that way. You're up against Chappies. How close was that? How long did it? Was Chappies really that fast, or did that go on for quite a while? Because on the TV show, it looked like he got it pretty quickly when you were doing it. That's question one. And then question two is, what was your read on Chappies from just having had that little bit of an interaction with him on the show?
Chappies, did you know? Did you know? That's a little South African joke here. So Chappies is like a little bubble gum, and they come like with facts inside of them. And they always start with, did you know? So like, did you know Chappies? Like, kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember Chappies because I grew up in South Africa. I lived there for 18 years before I moved. But it's so long. It's so long ago, though.
No, but then you hear it, like those little Chappie things. It's amazing. So yeah, but with Chappies, so the whole fire challenge, hey, it was close at times. Like, it was a blur for me. A lot of smoke. You showed me smoke. Humbling experience. I'm always one that wins, and I'm always on top. So kind of being in a position where I came off second, kind of like, you know, it resonates. And kind of like also for development as well, because I always try and take in life, like, you know, I always try to take a negative and turn it into a positive. And I think from that challenge, what I got from Chappies was a hardcore player coming out to play. Listen, I think we can expect some amazing things from Chappies. Let me tell you, that guy, he just oozes like Survivor. Like, come on, there's so many people in this cast. Like, they just ooze off Survivor. They're like, we're built for the season. Like, it's crazy, this cast. Like, I mean, so much fire. Yeah, legit.
So, but you read him though. You read him correctly when he said that. They built the fire and that.
He's a hard player, and I knew that. But listen, I knew that would be something to consider into my gameplay. Look, sorry, I just dropped the can there. Sorry.
That's right.
I knew, like, from the get-go, when he told me, like, oh, they got fire, and I was like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, whatever. And he was like, I was trembling. I was like, oh, okay, what is? Like, I know, I'm not outside. If anyone's gonna make fire, it's either like Sean was like a beast, like he's like an Energizer bunny from hell. That guy was like trying to start a fire, like. Oh, and I tried it. It ain't easy. Like, I can attest to that. Chappie was dead on straight. And with those conditions, it's wet, it's damp. It's like, it's easy to get everything going when it's dry, but there's so many elements that you're not exposed to. But with him saying that, I knew that this guy was like, hey, this ook is, like, he's gaan speel.
He's playing at a different level. Now you got a little bit of a reward, even though you lost. You got the bracelet, the what was it called? The diplomatic immunity. Yes. Did you have a plan for how you wanted to play that going forward in the game? What was your idea with that?
Listen. I had a suspicion that I was going home. But now imagine imagine I misinterpreted the situation and kind of played like, for example, Survivor Islander Secrets, Jacques Burger in a Ting Ting situation where he misplayed the idol, could have saved Ting Ting, you know. I don't want to play that because now I'm already coming off as like this hardcore, like, yes, I'm hitting these guys, I'm getting information, these guys are seeing Jason is unpredictable, he's rolling, okay? Now, if I had to play that type of, like, you know, play like use a bluff, like this is an annulment, or like, you know, play me, or like, you know, take the machete and the flints with me, like you guys are going to suffer, take it, like I could. But the thing is, what does that say about the type of play I'm trying to play so early in the game? That's not really blending in. That's like saying, yes, yeah, Rick, come on, yeah. See, I don't want to do that just yet. So I wanted to progress and might get there eventually, but it is what it is, eh?
No, 100%. And it's quite interesting because you mentioned there you try to blend in, but, you know, you had a pretty, from what we saw in the edit, it looked like you were pretty solidly in there with a couple of people, and you ended up going against Nicole, Marisha, and Amy, who you saw as big threats. And I believe Amy was the person, according to the edit, that you were targeting at that point. What was your thinking in regards to changing your game plan up? Because we see them saying that they trust you in Smash and they think that you guys are going to be loyal, but then you turn on them first there. What was the thinking behind that? And sort of, because we saw a little bit of the pitch, but what was the whole pitch there, and how did you think you were going to get Anela and Renier on your side to go against those guys?
Okay. So I get you. Okay, so my thinking, yeah. Amy, let's okay, that was there's a lot there that you just mentioned, okay, because a lot happened, okay, and you see a lot happening. Amy, as soon as Amy hit me with that information saying that Sean has a bulge in his pocket. You know who I saw when she said that? I saw Tevin, like from season 6.
Yeah.
From season 6 Survivor Philippines. And I was like, she's here to play. So I was very much aware of that. And she was very, like, I could see Amy is a very good player. Like, she's a good player, let me tell you. But the thing is, there's so many good players. Now, which one do you choose? Type thing. Okay, so with Amy I could see she wanted to share, but she couldn't share. She didn't trust me, and with good reason. Look how I was. She read me well. Unfortunately, I couldn't see what was happening. Okay, so kudos on Amy for that. But the thing is, with Amy running around, okay, I knew I had an Amy situation, and I knew I had a Kion and Sean situation looking through the rice. Okay, so my thinking is I've got two types of, you know, scenarios happening here. Is a crack for me to move in. Okay, so now I'm going for Amy because the idol situation, season 6 vibes. Okay, got fan vibes from her, but I don't know what happened. Like, you know, she knows she's here to play, legit, and I can see, like, look at her profile. Oh, she's here to play, bro. Let me tell you. Okay, so I knew it. Like, I picked that up, but she got to me first, and I think how that happened is the girls. I regret not talking more to Nicole and to Marisha because they are such amazing people. Like, you don't understand. Really good, bubbly personalities. I think that's also maybe one small regret. I'm not talking to them. But with that being said, they were so unsure of me that when my name came up, and because of all the stuff that has been happening, you know, it was a plan in motion, and then that was my downfall. But they said to me that the target was Kion. Okay, we eventually worked that to Kion. Okay, this is also maybe a slip up on my part, and I'll tell you why. Okay, they were gunning for Sean at first. Now I can't take that because Sean is very, like, you see, he sits down and his mouth is open and he's like that. Like, all I have to do is just sit and let him talk because he's going to say something wrong. Perfect shield. He's amazing. Like, Sean is an amazing guy, but he's a perfect guy to take to a certain point. This is just my gameplay. He, like, you know, we're all looking out for ourselves, and this is what I just saw from him and his personality. Okay. So he was the perfect time to align with at the point. So I wanted to save that type of personality because it's a really good cloak. Okay, I mean we've seen this play in in the past in like the US, AU, like the Australian, New Zealand seasons. It's like textbook Survivor. Okay, and if you don't see it, but they saw it. But anyway, let's
like a meat shield type of strategy that you try to have, like someone with a even bigger personality than yourself to try and sort of get behind. I get you. I get where you're coming from.
I can move. So I'm a snake, a Zumba. I can move. So I
do have another question for you, though, if you don't mind me jumping in. Teresa, right? She goes to the immunity island there. If she didn't go to the immunity island, do you think you would be sitting here talking to me right now, or do you think she was a definite target at that point? People were on board with her for an easy vote because she looked like she was quite. The edit sort of shows her on her own quite a lot. Was that kind of how she was out there as well? And was she the easy target?
Look, Teresa would have been the easy target to go because, I mean, she's just like, she's out of her element. She says it herself. I mean, I think she said in like one of her confessionals, or I don't know if it was a promo or something that she said, she was like, she's a person that you wouldn't catch camping, like, she doesn't like, but she's like actually like, putting herself out there, like, it's like kudos to her, like, geez, how much balls that takes to do. And she flipping rocked it. I mean, she went to Immunity Island. But anyway, I'm sorry. The question is
that kind of answers it. That definitely kind of answers it. So you do think she would have been the person. So I do have another question here. Sorry, did you want to say more to that?
No. I was saying like if she like the effect, like if she didn't go to Immunity Island, I think I would still be the vote because I think I would have acted the same way. Actually, I think I would have acted the same way given the circumstances because Teresa wasn't that much of a factor in my gameplay just yet. Like she was just there, and I was aware of that. But the thing is, like, there's so many things like relationships to like kind of connect, and then like it's like a web that you kind of have to. It's crazy, and you need to choose the right strand, the right combination to get the best possible outcome for you. And that's weird because that sounds weird, but that's like a lot of thinking goes into that, and hence like you may pick the wrong one, and then the outcome happens like, yeah, I'm here for you. Like, yeah, we're on a podcast. Like, come on, but you get me.
100%. Now, last two questions here for you. Firstly, what was your favorite moment out there? And then secondly, what would you have done differently if you had a second chance?
My favorite moments. Kidding in the candy store. How do you choose your favorite sweets? How do you choose your favorite sweets? Like I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, eh? Seeing Nico, Tribal Council, the fire, like vibe, wood, like I would live there. That was amazing. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I liked seeing those type of things. It was the survivor vibe. That's something I take with me. One thing that I could do different. I don't think I would like to tell you because in case I come back.
Yeah, let's make that happen. Let's get a first boot season at some point, or
I'd like to invoke the fifth.
No, 100% understand that. And I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I really love your positive, great energy. You've got to be in it to win it. So for anybody out there who's scared to play the game, just get in there.
Yeah, I was there. I wasn't there to come off second best. I was there to win. And that was my priority. And that's crazy.
It didn't work out this time, but who knows?
There's lots of things to come, like legit. Like where you go from here, there's possibilities endless. Like what's the next
100%.
project?
Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything that people can follow you on? For instance, we'll put your Instagram link definitely into this description. Is there anything you're getting up to at the moment that you want people to check out?
Yeah, you might like this.
Show me.
I got a pigeon page.
Oh, awesome!
This is my racing pigeon. This is one of. She's a 20 hen.
Yeah.
She's one of my Look how pretty she is.
She's really
so
pretty.
Like,
yeah.
Like I'm going to be doing like YouTube videos of my pigeons, and sharing like tips and like things for them. I'm in the process of starting my own nursery, bonsais, plants. I would like to do some developments up in Limpopo get involved with my like my sisters from, well, I call them my sisters, like in like Limpopo, my brothers and sisters in like Limpopo, like in nurseries and like orphanages and stuff. Like do like mission work where like people from overseas come here and like contribute here. Like so, there's like a lot of things that my mind's like like there's lots of things that I'm going to do. I think it's just the possibilities are endless now. I think Survivor's not the thing that like. It's not the thing that now there's things like go past, and if some Survivor makes its way back there, let's do it. Yeah.
No, I love that, and that looks, it's so beautiful. Like what you need to do is send me the links. Send me the links to the YouTube channel. And anything else you want me to share, and I'll make sure to share it in the description of this video for you. And I look forward to talking to you when all of this is over. I love people with positive energy and positive vibes, and you've got a lot of that. So, thank you for jumping on there and putting yourself out there to play this game that we all love. And I hope to talk to you again in the future. I really appreciate your time.
For sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for the chat.